Testing 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eunice Cardinal Sports here on the No Mark Broadcasting's coverage, available at hobbsamerica.com and at the Eunice Sports YouTube page. We are getting ready to go live. If my talking sounds kind of chopped up, it's because I'm watching my lights come on and off in mid-word or mid-sentence. So my lights are flashing back and forth. Every now and then I've got a great signal, and then it just disappears. So we're getting ready to go live, testing mics. We'll be back on live, ready to proceed here with Eunice Cardinal Sports as the Lady Cardinals are hosting the Dora Lady Couch. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back here in just a couple of minutes to get started.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
IPS Incorporated is a proud member of this community. IPS is the turnkey solution in the oil patch. One call to IPS for your upstream and midstream solutions, comprising of dirt work, electrical, pumping, and crane service, plus your automation and control, is all handled with one call. One call for every aspect of your oil and gas project. Google IPS Hobbs or simply call 393-1417. IPS, the turnkey one-call oil and gas company.
Eunice has a friendly small-town atmosphere, great schools and churches, and a low cost of living. The entire community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. The Eunice Department of Motor Vehicles' new office hours are Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. No testing on Friday. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities. The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exams, physicals, health education, lab tests, and diagnostic studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards!
Hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports here live from Lady Cardinal Field in Eunice. Before we get far into this broadcast, I do want to recognize our sponsors: Eunice Wrecker and Rental, Parker Energy Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, BTH Services and Rental, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, Eunice Public Schools, Outlaw Grill, the City of Eunice, and Redbird Gas. We could not do these free broadcasts without them. So we greatly appreciate you. We're one of the few areas in the state that has this type of service where we can typically bring games to those that are out working or families across the country or even outside the country. Occasionally we get some military families and whatnot that'll message me from Japan or Korea or places like that saying that they're watching their cousin or their kinfolks playing back here at home. So we appreciate the sponsors. We also appreciate Nomark Broadcasting for allowing Eunice to be part of the family that gets good coverage here in southeastern New Mexico. I can tell you, and you guys that follow our broadcast regularly understand that sometimes it's hit and miss as far as service. Our service today looks pretty rough. It runs off an AT&T signal, and it's kind of like when you look at your cell phone and you got one bar and you think you want to call somebody, but you're not sure if you should. That's kind of the way I feel with this broadcast today. We have got very little service. It's going to be in and out, and we will do our best to bring you the games. It's liable to be kind of a buffering in and out type of broadcast, but we'll do our best. Today here in Eunice, the number 6 ranked 2A state softball team here, the 12-10 Eunice Lady Cardinals will host the 7-11 Dora Lady Cardinals in the last 2 games of the season here, as we have a doubleheader schedule. This will be the last 2 games before the state playoffs. The seeding and selection show for the state playoffs will be this weekend. The Lady Cards appear to have a great chance at getting into that state tournament, sitting at number 6 currently in the latest rankings. I think that'll probably get them in. I don't follow softball as much as I probably should, and so just looking at it, it sure looks to me like I don't see how they could not get in, but I'm not sure how many teams they do and exactly. I know they use the same criteria, but I haven't applied all those criteria to see. We've struggled this season to get softball games covered for Eunice. There have been multiple reasons for that. Multiple games have been canceled or moved due to wind, due to weather. We had some games moved because of prom. And a lot of those games, we haven't been told that they were moved. I know one game, I had all my broadcast equipment ready to go, and then right before the game, I found out there was no game. It had been moved to another day. So we've really struggled to get some coverage going this year for the Lady Cardinals and their softball group. Like I said, it's been a tough deal. Also, a quick shout-out to Charlie Fairbrush. My partner has been in the hospital off and on ever since basketball season, so we haven't had him on a broadcast since. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. He's had some serious health issues. We're thinking about you, Charlie. We miss you. Resendo's had lots of senior stuff going with his family and his son playing baseball. I've been on the grind with my daughters and sons running track. Very involved in that. So it's just been a crazy spring for our broadcast group. But we are here today and looking forward to seeing these girls in action. I did have the opportunity to watch them play a few days ago as part of the Eunice Booster Club. I was helping with senior night here just a couple of days ago and was able to see them play. This Lady Cardinal team, no doubt who the leaders on the team are at this point. Kelly Stinson does a little bit of everything. The junior is she's got the highest average at 640 on the year. She also has the highest on-base percentage for this team at 654. She's got really good numbers for the season. She leads the team in runs batted in. In fact, going back to her batting average and on-base percentage, those numbers are better than any boys baseball team right now. So just to kind of give you an idea, so she's done a really good job. She's also one of the main pitchers, if not the main pitcher on this team. Michaela Pierce is a sophomore, so really can't say much about the individual players. Some coaches do that, including some of our own coaches right here in Eunice. They keep this stuff top secret. In fact, it might be better concealed than some of the top secret stuff for our country, as we don't keep those things very secret. There's no leaks in some of these coaches for kids' stats. And so I can say this as a broadcaster, and I hear this from other broadcasters across the state: if you don't post your kids' stats, they're probably not going to get much recognition from other broadcast groups and people. Because folks like me, when we're looking at the state standings and whatnot, we look for those numbers so that we can talk about kids on teams that we're playing, whether you're from our town or some other town. If you don't post them, we're probably not going to say much about your kids. So anyway, that's kind of my rundown and my pregame. We're getting ready to get started here. We'll send it over to the station for a word from our sponsors. You're listening to Nomark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Bart Parker, owner of Redbird LP Gas Company, and his employees are proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Bart, class of 1971, state champions of both basketball and baseball, support the kids with their academics and athletics. They realize that balancing both is challenging and appreciate their determination. Redbird
Started here. Quick shout out across the road over there to our tracksters. They leave tomorrow morning, headed for the state track meet in Albuquerque. They'll be competing Friday and Saturday all day. And so, anyway, should be an interesting time. I'm going to head up for that as well. I'll leave tomorrow as quick as I can get out of work. With that said, getting ready to get started here. We do have the lineups for Eunice. I haven't seen Dora ones yet. They probably just got it, huh? I'll get that here in just a second. As we get warmed up here, a rundown of the Eunice roster. Michaela Pierce will be your first batter. She's the pitcher. Melanie Nieto will be catching. Cece Rodriguez is playing first. Elizabeth Gaitan at third. Aaliyah Garcia in left field. Haley Jones at second. There's a Jones sighting. Andrea Ornelas in right field, Carla Ornelas in center field, and I'm going to butcher this, but Lileen Zamora at the shortstop. I got it? All right. I've been working on it. No, I really hadn't. I just tried it right there. But we got it, and getting ready to get going here. Let me quickly peek at that Dora's lineup here. I know I'm going to butcher these. Number 2, Karen Inge. Number 11, Jay Ramirez. Number 10, Hostel. Number 9, Deason. Number 5, Rodriguez. Number 1, another Inge. Not an inch, but an Inge. Number 7, Go Game. As I mentioned, my apologies. The service is going in and out, so I'm sure people back home are going, what's wrong with that guy? Why can't he keep a signal? It runs off of cell towers, all I can say. And she swings at that one for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Inge, the 8th grader. Steps back in there, sends that ball high back over there by the right fielder. And my phone is ringing, and it's Booster Club people, and all I can tell you is I'm sorry. I am on the broadcast. So this young lady's name is Justice. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? Here comes the pitch. Inside for ball 2. I'm sorry, 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'm still trying to get my lineups all written out here in my chicken scratch. Probably be about as good as Sam's chicken scratch. I've heard she's got some chicken scratch. She's over here fine writing. There's that next pitch, low for the next ball. A lot of 8th graders on this group as I look down this lineup. And that was going to be high for ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes here. 2 outs already. Runner at first for Dora. Dora in the red uniforms, Eunice in the white. And they throw it down. It was ball 4, so she was walking anyway, but it scared her at least. So now runners at first and second. That'll bring up the next batter. I believe that's going to be Brienne Rodriguez. She's the only one on the roster I don't have a grade for, and I Probably skipped it as I was printing stuff out quickly today. So she swings and fouls the first one off for strike one. That ball's low and inside for ball number one. Steps back in there, ready to go. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and chopped over toward third. Third baseman going to try to get there, and she is unable to scoop it up and get back to third. And that allows the runner to reach safely. So now the bases are loaded. So we've got a 0-0 ball game here. And up to the plate, I believe this is the next Inge, Kinsley. She swings and misses at the first. Another eighth grader. With the bases loaded, 2 outs. Let's see if Pierce can work her way out of this one. Here comes the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 2. So 0-2 to Kinsley Inge. That's going to be a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Almost got all of my lineup stuff going here. So that ball swung on, hit toward third. Third baseman going to scoop it up, throw it toward first, and they're going to call that a foul ball. So full count here. Something's about to happen one way or the other. Either we're going to move to the bottom, and that one's high and inside for ball 4, so that'll send a run home. And Miranda Gomez will come to the plate. The umpire stops play. The same umpire once stopped play when I was the police chief. He screamed at me. I was standing out there in the corner in my police uniform, and he looked at me, I guess, out there in the corner, even though I was in foul territory. He stopped the whole game and told me to get off the field. But he and I had some words. It was pretty entertaining. For ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes here, 2 outs. Once again, that service is jumping. It's back and forth. That one's going to be high for ball 3. So 3-0. There's a hit right up the center, and it's going to go all the way into center field. It's going to score one, score another one. And so Dora jumping on the Lady Cardinals here early. So that's going to be a 2 RBI single for Gomez. That pitch gets away from catcher, and that's going to advance the runners. So Strange here today, and there's a swing on a high one for strike 2. So 0-2. I'm just reading it off of what you got. Uh-oh, we struggle with that one. We throw it. We get nobody out. There's nobody on third. And that's going to score another run. You know, I don't. Now we've got a timeout on the field. We'll send it over for a quick word from our sponsors. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County Athletics.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to No Mark Broadcasting coverage. Eunice Cardinal Sports here. The Lady Cardinals are hosting the final two games of the season in the doubleheader here today. Dora on top early here, 5-0. We got a 1-ball, no strikes count to Ramirez. She fouls that one back up over the top. 11 is Jenna Ramirez. So she steps back in, the right-hander. Michaela Pierce in the circle today. Throws that one low and inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike here. We're in that 2-2 again. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. Foul tipped. Caught for out number 3. Strike number 3, out number 3. And at the end of the top of the first, it's a 5-0 ball game. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
Bart Parker, owner of Redford LP Gas Company, and his employees are proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Bart's class of 1971 state champions of both basketball and baseball. Sport that came from their determination. Redbird knows the Eunice Cardinals have worked really hard to get where they're at, and they are cheering them on all the way. Bart and his crew say, "Go Eunice Cardinals!"
Nieto standing out on second. Cece up to bat. They swing. She hits that one. Chopper towards short. Short runs in, grabs it up, scoops it up, guns it over to first. Good play by the shortstop. Going to get Rodriguez, but she advances the runner over to third. So that brings Elizabeth Gaitan up. Right-hander. I'm sorry, I called her Nieto again. She's a Gaitan. I should know that. Most of my family's Gaitans, including her, but I think I'm related to everybody nowadays. And that one's inside for ball 4. So Gaitan heads over to first. Runners on the corners now, first and second. Gaitan on first. I'm sorry, on first and third. Nieto standing on third. And that first pitch is low for ball 1 to Alia Garcia. Garcia, the left fielder here today. And on that first pitch, Gaitan headed over to second. So now we've got Gaitan on second, Nieto on third, and Garcia at the plate batting. Also in the circle, going to be right down the middle for a strike. Garcia was already headed to first, thinking she had walked, and the ump said not so fast. Here comes the next pitch, and it's going to be low and inside for ball 4. So the bases are loaded, and up to the plate comes the 8th grader. My fam, Haley Jones, steps in there ready to go. Alicia Jones, bases loaded. All the infield has scooted way in, trying to make a play and save some runs here. We're in a 5-1 ball game. I'm broadcasting by myself, so if the app is a little behind, that's why. There's a drive towards center. It's going to get down. The runners are now trying to get advanced, and they do. So an RBI single for Jones. So bases still loaded here. Only one out for this Eunice club. Next up is Andrea Ornales, I believe, with the bases loaded. So we got a 5-2 score. That ball's inside. So 2 balls, no strikes, I believe. Here comes the next pitch. And that one's on that outside corner. So 2-1 now the count. Bases loaded. Once again, infield way in. There's a swing and a hit over toward first. First baseman going to step on the bag, which gets the out at first, but not before a run scores. So that'll make it 2 outs here, and now a 5-3 ball game. Carla Ornelas will now step to the plate. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. She takes that one right on the third baseman, scoops it up, looks around, throws it over first, and gets the out. And so at the end of one, we've got a 5-3 ball game. The Dora Lady Cardinals leading the Lady Cardinals. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
Eunice schools are excited to have students and staff back on campus and involved in another successful school term. It's been an eventful year, and the Eunice schools are ready for whatever comes their way. Eunice Public Schools provide high-quality educational experiences in a safe environment. The entire Eunice community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics.
Got a runner on first. Kayla Pierce on the hill, and Deason just dribbles that one. Looks like it was foul. So Deason going to step back in there. The runner at first, no outs. We're in the top of the second. Here comes the pitch. It's inside for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's going to be Melanie Nieto, the catcher for the Lady Cardinals, behind home. So scores. So we'll give her an RBI single there for Deason, and that'll bring up Brianne Rodriguez. She singled her last at bat. And she pops that one over into right field, shallow right, so another single. That's back-to-back singles for Rodriguez. That's going to advance the runners. And on the overthrow, both runners are going to move. So now we've got runners at second and third. And up to the plate comes the left-hander, Kinsley Inge. She's number 1. She's an 8th grader. I'm assuming based off the names and the look that her and Karen Inge are twins. So the 8th grader, left-hander in that left-handed batter's box. Pierce on the hill. She rears. So 2 balls, no strikes here to Inge. Runners at second and third. Eunice in the field at this point wearing the white uniforms. That ball gets away onto the ground for ball 3. Just looked like it slipped out of Pierce's hands. So 3-0 is the count. We're in a 6-3 ball game. And that one's going to be outside for ball 4. So bases are loaded now as number 7, Miranda Gomez, comes to the plate. She had a 2 RBI single her last at bat. That ball gets away. That's going to easily score a run over from third. She almost got her head knocked off. As Nieto picked it up at the fence, turned around and threw a fastball back to home. The runner from Dora was just going to stroll across home plate, and the ball went whizzing by her chin. Almost got her in the chinny chin chin, but she scores a run. It's now 7-3. And up to the plate. Ball's hit over to short. They're going to throw it over first. They get her at first, so a good play there by the shortstop. The ground out there. That'll bring up number 6, Riley. She walked her last at bat. It's an 8-3 ball game here. Runner standing at third. Riley Crumpf steps up to the plate. She takes that for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes here. 1 out. We're in the top of the second. Runner on third. Pierce on the hill. Rears back and throws that one down the middle. Swing on and miss for strike 1. Riley back in there. Kayla in the circle. That ball's hit over toward the pitcher. Pitcher going to scoop it up, underhand it to first, and they get her just barely. It was a close play, but she gets the RBI out of that deal. So that's a ground out with an RBI. She scored the runner. That'll bring up Caitlin Suford for Dora. So She steps in there ready to go. Here comes the pitch. It's low and inside. This young lady was hit by a pitch her last at bat, and she just almost took one off the top of the foot there. Have a few little bruises on her left leg here pretty soon. Here comes the next pitch. It's inside for ball number 2. So 2-0. Once again, this is the last week of high school girls. He's headed over for second now. Wow, that was an extremely close play that the ump didn't even make a call on. He was just like, yeah, you're safe, I guess. So sounds good to me. So a single and then a stolen base out of the overthrown ball, whatever you want to call it. I'm not taking stats, but call it what you want. So 9-3 is now the score. Eunice standing on second base, and we're back to the top of the lineup. Michaela Pierce to step in there. No outs here in a 9-3 ball game. Looks like we're ready to go. Here's the pitch, low and inside. So that makes it 9-6. And Elizabeth Gaetan comes up to the plate. Here's Lizzie and her at bat. Her last time she walked. So the board shows 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. So 1-1-1. That one's in there for strike number 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 9-6 ball game. There's a slam over into left field. And Gaetan with a nice. That'll bring up number 10, Aaliyah Garcia, the left fielder. She walked her last at bat. She's got Gaetan standing on first. 1 out here. Garcia in there ready. There's the pitch, and it's inside. Almost got her on the shin. You don't want a softball on the shin bone. Or I don't, anyway. That ball's high, swung on and missed. The runner's going to go. Gaetan looked like she was on a casual stroll on an easy Sunday morning, and she gets thrown out over at second trying to steal. She was there safely if she'd have just dropped down and did a little slide action. And that ball's fouled off. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here, 2 outs. Yeah, Gaetan looked like she didn't know they were throwing it or something. She was just chilling, headed to second, smelling flowers and whatnot. There's a high fly foul ball. Catcher going to run in and grab it. So just like that, Dora leads
9-6. Construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Omar Broadcasters coverage of Eunice Cardinals sports. The Lady Cardinals are facing off here at home against Dora in game 1 of a doubleheader here today. The Lady Cardinals trails on the hill today for the Lady Cardinals, or in the circle. I keep wanting to say on the hill. Softball, you pitch from a circle. There's a swing and a miss by so Pierce back on the hill. That one right up the middle. Moore comes through, tried to scoop it up, deflects off her glove over to the second. That's going to be a single, probably after the error, but we'll call it a single. That'll bring up Jenna Ramirez, number 11. She singled her last at bat. She drives that one over into left field. I think it's going to get down. It does. And so that'll be another single for Ramirez. Next up will be Faith Hasso with runners on first and second. She's the pitcher for this Dora squad. She flew out her first at bat, had a single her last at bat. So she steps in there to face Pierce with runners at first and second. Takes that one inside. And the runner Inge was going to steal. The ball bounced right back off the plate to the catcher, and then Inge decided, I don't think I want none of that action, and she turned around and ran back to second. They call that one strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to number 10, Hasso, Faith Hasso. 9-6 is the score. That ball's going to hit her, I believe, or did she do the limbo and avoid it? Maybe she avoided it. I'm not sure if it hit her or not. I thought it hit her, but maybe it didn't. She bobbed and weaved. Weaved when she should have bobbed, or bobbed when she should have weaved. Runners advanced, though, on that. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. That ball's fouled off right off the knuckles for strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. In inning number 3, 9-6 is the score. Eunice trying to claw back into this one. But Dora at the plate right now with runners at second and third. And the strikeout, drop ball, thrown over to first, gets the out. So I show that as 3 strikeouts already in this game for Pierce. And up to the plate comes Justice Deason. She had a walk and an RBI single in her first 2 at-bats. 1 out here. That ball's driven hard. It's going to go all the way to the fence in left center field. Going to easily score 2 runs. Deason turns, heads for second. And she's easily into second with a stand-up double. Also going to have 2 RBIs out of that deal. So Dora extends their lead 11-6. And up to the plate comes Brianne Rodriguez, who singled her first 2 at-bats. She drives this one right back up toward the pitcher. Pierce grabs it, scoops it up, throws it over to first, and she's going to get the out there. So that's 2 outs in a 6-11 ball game. And here comes the other Inge, and she drives that one over toward first base. First baseman trying to get there. Inge outruns her to the base. That ball, she was a 3 stop, and that's going to easily score another run. So it's 12-6 as Dora has doubled up on the Lady Cardinals. Inge advanced over to third on that pass ball as well. So now runner on third base as Miranda Gomez is at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes here with 2 outs. And she takes that one all the way for ball 3. So 3-0, 2 outs. And my signal shows that it's lost. So jumps in and out. Here comes the next pitch. Right down the middle. 4 strike 1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Gomez back in there ready to go. Take that one high for ball 4. And Eunice's cell service is horrible. As bad as I hate to say it. It's my hometown, but our service here is bad. I know that the football stadium was able to hardwire their press box. This year we had troubles with that, but the softball box here doesn't look like it has any hardwired internet. I don't see any for sure. And the baseball field's the same way. They're supposed to be running that over there this summer, so hopefully we'll have hardwired internet over there. And Haley Jones is going to take the walk there as she heads over to first. Andrea Ornales up there. Jones on first. Jones got a late start, and woo, she barely got in there. The shortstop didn't like it. She didn't like it at all. Joe Steele, that's probably the difference in strike three. So now we're headed back to the top of the lineup. Michaela Pierce headed to the plate in an 8-12 ball game. Faith Hasso in the circle. That ball's going to get high. Back to score a single. And so Karen Inge now comes to the plate. This is the top of the lineup. She had a strikeout and a single. So she steps in there ready to go. Here comes the pitch. High and outside, but a big swing and a miss. First strike number one. Runner on first was thinking about going and then changed her mind. Here comes the next pitch, and that ball is hit high and foul over into the parking area. As long as it's no mine. 12-8 is the score. We're in the fourth inning. Kayla Pierce in the circle. That ball's driven high into right field. It's going to be trouble, and it is all the way back to the wall. They fire it back in. It's going to be a stand-up double for Inge. That'll bring up Jenna Ramirez. And Ramirez is the catcher for this club. Runners at second and third, no outs. That ball driven into left field, and it's going to be just foul. It was a close one. So 12-8 is the score after the foul. So Justin Deason comes to the plate. This young lady hit a 2 RBI double to the fence her last at bat. She's got an RBI single, a 2 RBI double, and a walk in her first 3 at bats. She takes strike one. Bases loaded here. Dora and the pitcher ball up over the catcher. Catcher and the pitcher stood there and looked at each other, and it landed right in between them. He said, I got it, I got it. No, you got it. Okay, nobody's got it. And it right between. So we got a foul ball there. Here comes the next pitch, and that's going to smack. That action. Ball over to first. Horse on the hip bone. She bats on that left side. She bats on that left side. And so she's pretty quick from that side as well. So bases loaded. Inge at the plate. No outs here. That's the scary part. There's another foul ball. So she's down 0-2 as she's fouled 2 in a row off. Here she is back in there. Here comes the pitch from Pierce. She slaps that one foul. She hits that one over a slow roller toward the pitcher. Pitcher runs in, scoops it up, gets it over to first. But she's going to get an RBI ground out of that one. So that'll bring Miranda Gomez to the plate. She's got a 2 RBI single, a ground out, and a walk. Runners at second and third, and she takes the first strike on the outside corner. 16-8 is the score. See if I can get my app going. We're way behind over here. There's a dribbler over towards second. Jones scoops it up, throws it over into the dugout. 2 runs are going to score. Eunice team just hadn't been able to get anything going here today. So Riley Crump comes to the plate. She's got a walk, a ground out, with an RBI and a strikeout. Runner on first, one out here. We're in an 18-8 ball game. As Eunice getting taken to the woodshed here in this one. Swung on and missed. Strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Comes the wind up and the pitch. It's in there for strike number 2. 2-2, 1 out. Runner at first for Dora. In the red shirts, gray pants. Eunice in the white shirt, red pants. There's a swing and a little slapper down the line, and she's going to easily get there. We throw it over to first, but she is there safely on the single. So next up is number 4, Caitlin Sufert. She steps in there. She got a hit by a pitch, had a strikeout and a single. Swings and misses at that one. So 0-1, 1 out. 18-8 is the score. Runners at second. Pierce. Pierce scoops it up, fires it over to first for the out. That'll be 2 outs. So now we're back to the top of the lineup. Karen Inge, her last at bat, she hit it out to the fence. She's got a strikeout, a single, and a double that last at bat. That pitch is going to be inside. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. It's an 18-8 ball game. Here's the pitch, swung on, fouled off. Inge steps back in. She's ready. Here comes the pitch. It's driven high, foul up over the first base dugout and out of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 18-8 is the score. Runners standing at second and third. Karen Inge, I believe that's Inge, I-N-G-E. She steps in there ready to go. McKenna Pierce on the hill. Fires that one inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and here comes Coach Pierce headed out to the circle. I've never seen an ump go stand in the circle when the coach comes out to talk to the pitcher. That's a new one. Maybe that's a softball thing. It's like the ump was out there getting some advice too or something. Never seen that. All right. So Pierce heads back to the dugout. And other Pierce stays in the circle. So here we go. 18-8 is the score. Here's the pitch. Ball skips up off the turf for ball 3. So we got a full count here. 2 outs. We're in the 4th inning. That ball swung on and missed, and she gets out of the inning. So the talk from Pierce to Pierce must have been a good one. It gets Eunice out of the inning, or out of the top half of the inning. As we move to the bottom of the 4th, we've got an 18-8 score. Eunice trails. You're listening to Nomar Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal sports.
Eunice has a friendly small-town atmosphere, great schools and churches, and a low cost of living. The entire community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. No testing on Friday. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities.
Hi, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Lady Cardinals sports. I'm Jimmy Jones, and that's a great hit. So that'll bring up, let's see where we're at. Is that Haley Jones? No, it's number 10. So Aaliyah Garcia steps in. So Aaliyah Garcia back in here with the runner at first. 2 outs. She takes a big swing and a miss right there. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 18-8 is the score. Garcia steps in. She's ready. Here comes the pitch. It's swung on, driven over toward right field. Right fielder trying to get there. She doesn't. It skips off the turf. Then they did the do, and nobody picked it up. And so headed over to third is Garrett. And so that'll be a single for Garcia. Up to the plate now is Haley Jones. Runners on the corners, and that ball skips off the turf. Garrett now comes. She hesitated for a second. Oh, my goodness, they're going to call her safe. So she's going to steal home, and the runner's going to advance all the way over to third. So 18 to, I believe, 9 now. 18-9 is the score. Here comes the pitch, low and inside. I believe that's going to be ball, I think 2, but I'm not 100% certain. And that one's high and outside for ball, what I think is 3, but I'm not certain. So I'm going to say 3 balls, no strikes. That sounds good to me. 2 outs. There's a big swing, and it's hit over. Oh, and it's going to be just foul. That ball lands a foot to the left. It would have been trouble for Dora. So 3-1 is what the board says. I'll go with it. 2 outs, 18-9. And that ball's inside for ball 4. So Jones headed over on the walk. So runners now at the corners again for the Cardinals. Jones at first. Garcia at third. And up to the plate is Ornelas. She takes that first pitch inside for ball 1. This young lady had an RBI single her last at bat. She steps in there ready to go. Here comes the pitch. It's swung on, hit right at the first baseman. The first baseman makes a heck of a catch over there. So that'll end the 4th and send us to the 5th. Score is 18-9. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County.
So number 11, Jenna Ramirez. So she steps in there ready. Here comes the pitch. It's driven high, foul, over down into the, just over the dugout for the Lady Cardinals. So strike 1. Ramirez steps back in. The young lady's got a single, and she was hit by a pitch. She got an inside ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. That'll be a ground out for Rodriguez. So next up is Kinsley Inge, the lefty. This young lady's been able to slap. She's got 2 walks, a single, and an RBI single. She slaps that one foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 19-9 is the score. Once again, not what I expected. Here comes the pitch. And so that is a 2 RBI double for Inge. Next up is Miranda Gomez. Away from the catcher. That's a number 6. first one for ball one. Trump's got a walk, a ground out with an RBI, a strikeout, and a single her last at bat. She drives that one over into right field. That's going to be a single. She's getting Crump on us. It's Riley Crump. In plate comes Caitlin Suford. She got hit by a pitch. She had a strikeout, a single, and a ground out. She took a hack at that one. It looked like it was for the golf range. The coach is over there pointing at the turf saying, what in the world? So 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. She swings at that one, chops it over toward the pitcher. Pitcher scoops it up, fires it over, throws it into the dugout, and that's going to allow the runners to keep moving. So now there'll be runners on the corners. 22-9. And we go to the top of the lineup. Karen Inge comes up. She's got a strikeout, a single, a double, and a strikeout. Runners at the corners, and there's a nice pitch from Pierce for strike one. So 0-1, 2 outs, 22-9 is the score. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch, driven right back up the middle. It's going to go all the way into center field. Going to score one run. They throw it toward third over off the wall, and it's going to score a run. And then they're going to, they had the runner there, and the ball ends up in center field. Now they're throwing it home, but everybody's going. It's going to be close, and she is in there. And I don't even know what you call that. I guess I could call it a home run, but I don't think that's what I would award it if I was doing stats. But one way or the other, the bases are clear, and the batter is standing back in the dugout after running all the way around the bases. So that'll bring up Jenna Ramirez. This young lady has had a single, and got hit by a pitch, and then she gets hit by a pitch again. That'll bring up Faith Hasso. This one's got a single, a fly out, a strikeout, a walk, and a single. She took ball one. Here comes the next pitch. It's driven right down the third base line. Good play by the third baseman. And they're going to get the lead runner. And that'll at least give us an opportunity to go try to hit it. So at the end of the top half of the fifth, we've got to score a 25-9. The Lady Cardinals are trailing.
Eunice 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Friday 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. No testing on Friday. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports. You're live from Eunice in the first game of a doubleheader versus Dora. And, these two games could hurt Eunice. As I looked at the rankings today, Eunice was sitting in the 6th spot. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe somebody that's out there listening knows, but I don't have any idea how many teams they take to state in softball. I know that, in basketball, I know what it is. I know what it is in football. I have no idea what softball does. I don't know if it's 8. If it's 8, this could really put a lump in our plans to go to state. But I'm assuming it's probably going to be more than 8, but I have no idea how they do that. Anyway, this could definitely hurt our chances, and if not our chances, it could definitely hurt our seeding. So here we go to the plate. Up by a pitch and a ground out her last at bat. She takes that one for ball one. 25-10 is now the score. Let me go on the app here and update it for those of you watching at home. You can watch it because the signal's not horrible, which it probably is. Still on the hill for Dora is Faith Hasso. So Cece's back in there ready to go. Faith Hasso on the hill. She throws it in there high for ball number 4, and that'll send Cece over to first base. So now the bases are juiced. Up to the plate comes Garrett, 5'11", on the overthrow from the catcher. And that ball's driven into left center field. Emma Garrett, what in the world? She's like, let me get some on that little drive into left center field. She's going to turn and make it 2 out of that one. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. That was entertaining. She swung and missed and then turned around and started beating the ground up real hard. All right, and that one's high for ball 3. So 3-1 is the count, and 1 out, 25-12. Garcia at the plate. Here's the pitch. She slams that one over into right field. It's going to hit. It's going to score 1 run for sure. They're going to go ahead and turn the other one. Garrett on her horse. She gets in there safely. So 2 runs scored, and now Garcia's running around like crazy. And now she's going to, no, she's not. She's going to get over to third. And so Garcia, out of all that, we'll call it a triple just because we're in the giving mood here today. A 2 RBI triple for Garcia. 25-14 is the score on the board. And up to the plate comes Haley Jones. She drives that one foul. So Eunice trying to stay in this one. Got 1 out here. Haley Jones, the 8th grader, she's walked twice and had an RBI single. She takes that one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Eunice back within 11 here, trying to keep this game going. She takes that one right down the middle for strike 2. I thought that was the signal, but yeah, I'm not sure either. He wasn't very. Takes that one outside for ball 2. So they're saying 3-1. So he gave the signal, but then he didn't make any noise. So he pulled a fast one on us. It's 3-1. That ball's fouled off. So now we're back in the same boat. 3-2. 3-2-1 usually equals contact. Come on, Haley Jones. Let's see it. Here's the pitch. That ball's low. Skips off the turf, and oh my goodness. We tried to steal home on a ball that didn't go past anybody, and we didn't make it. So Jones is safely over to first on the walk. But our runner on third gets called out trying to steal home on a passed ball that didn't pass. The catcher kind of fooled everybody because the ball came out of the mitt. There's a little dribbler back over to the pitcher, and they're going to get her at first. And so, trying to see for sure who that was. That was Ornelas. So she gets the ground out. And I believe that's going to be ball game number 1. Eunice loses this first one 25-14. And we will send it over for a word from our sponsors. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community. Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Eunice has a friendly small-town atmosphere, great schools and churches, and a low cost of living. The entire community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. The Eunice Department of Motor Vehicles' new office hours are Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. No testing on Friday. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities.
Outlaw Grill thanks you for supporting Outlaw Grill throughout the years. Outlaw Grill has all your favorites, from savory soups to burgers. Porterhouse steaks, fettuccine alfredo, crispy chicken scallopini are just some of the all-time favorites. Outlaw Grill invites you to come in or call your order in 575-392-2012. That's 575-392-2012. It's a fast turnaround time for a delicious gourmet meal from the crew at Outlaw Grill. The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women. Eunice schools are excited to have students and staff back on campus and involved in another successful school term. It's been an eventful year, and the Eunice schools are ready for whatever comes their way. Eunice Public Schools provide high-quality educational experiences in a safe environment. The entire Eunice community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities, and a fantastic school system.
NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who've provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
You've just changed the light bulb in the pantry to an Energy Star energy-efficient LED bulb, one that uses up to 90% less energy than a regular old incandescent bulb and saves you more than $55 over its lifetime. You just saved energy and money and did the environment a solid. What's next? Organizing the pantry? It's suddenly so well lit. Find our LED discounts at excelenergy.com/lighting deals. Excel Energy.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jal, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now is more important than ever to recognize positive achievements in our communities. Join R360 in saluting our amazing Lee County students. This community message is brought to you by R360.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, or just a better you. Parker Energy Support Services is a proud supporter of Lee. Outlaw Grill thanks you for supporting Outlaw Grill throughout the years. Outlaw Grill has all your favorites, from savory soups to burgers. Porterhouse steaks, fettuccine alfredo, crispy chicken scallopini are just some of the all-time favorites. Outlaw Grill invites you to come in or call your order in 575-392-2012. That's 575-392-2012. It's a fast turnaround time for a delicious gourmet meal from the crew at Outlaw Grill.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinals sports. Here live from Eunice. We are getting ready to start Game 2 of our doubleheader as the Eunice Lady Cardinals are hosting the Dora Lady Cardinals. We'll be back ready to proceed here in just a few minutes. Thank you for your time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to start Game 2 here of our doubleheader. And they have got Pierce in the circle again. Here, all one strike count. So, like I said, getting ready to start Game 2. I'm going to jump in here and reset the scores in the app for those of you listening and watching back home. I'll be honest with you, our service has been absolutely horrible, and so I haven't done a real good job with it because half the time when I look up, we don't have all the lights showing that we're broadcasting. So I think only about half of this is getting transmitted back to the people at home anyway. So with that said, getting started here. Got a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Looks like number 2, Karen Inge, leading off for Dora. So she takes that one to make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to Inge. Wasting no time is Pierce. Here comes the next pitch. It's driven over toward right field. Right fielder on the run up. Isn't able to get to it. scoops it up, throws it over. Throws it into the infield, and In's going to end up with a single. All right, so next up for Loving, looks like it's going to be the same lineup, Jenna Ramirez, and she drives one foul over down the left field line. Look here, I think this is going to be the same lineup. 5, 1, 7. A couple of minor changes at the bottom half of the lineup, so that'll be 35. So 0-1, here's the count. There's a swing on and foul. Once again, like I said, I'm just trying to get all of my roster stuff lined up, and then we'll be ready to at least sound like we halfway kind of know what we're doing. That ball's fouled back over into the bleachers. Going to hit somebody on the head. That'll wake them up. Almost got it in their nachos. So 0-2 the count. Runner at first is Inge. Ramirez at bat. Here comes the pitch. It's swung on, driven down the third base line. They throw it over toward first. They're going to grab that lead runner, so a good job there by the Cardinals infield. So Jenna Ramirez on the fielder's choice ground out. And I'm not sure what we were doing there. It looked like we were going to have a little meeting in the circle. I'm still not sure if there's a discussion. I guess the Dora coaching staff not liking the call, I'm assuming. That's the only thing I can. You put these headsets on and you can't hear anything anyway. There's a discussion on the field. I'm assuming it's regarding that play at second. Still having a discussion about that. Quick shout out to our sponsors while we're wasting some time here. Eunice broadcast of a large majority of our sporting events throughout the school year. So we appreciate those sponsors making that available. Appreciate you greatly. I've been to some of these other places across the state where we show up, and literally the school administrations in some of these other towns have come out and told me, no, you guys can't do that here because y'all's is free and we charge for our broadcast. That's how we make money to feed our kids and stuff on sports trips, so you can't broadcast free in our stadium. And they've literally run us off of a couple of them because they didn't like the fact that we did these for free. So we appreciate the sponsors making these possible for everyone around here. As I've mentioned in game one, our service, it runs off an AT&T tower, and our service has been terrible. And they must have overturned the call at second, so now Kimple's out there. And so now the Eunice staff is now, they were getting ready to play ball. They put the runner back on second, and now the Coach Kimple for Eunice is out there saying, well, what's going on here? I ain't liking it. So if he wants me to, I'll run out there and argue with the ump a little bit. They said this group's thrown me out before, and I was in a police uniform when they threw me out. So. They're still discussing. I don't believe Kimple's going to win this one after they took 10 minutes to have that discussion. But now they're back in another little private discussion. So anyway, somewhat interesting here. I wonder if you can have a do-over. It's like, can we have a do-over? I don't know what we're going to do here, but they are still discussing. And apparently it's not going to go in favor of the Lady Cardinals as they are headed back to their positions. There's runners at first and second. So here we go. Back in play. There's a drive high up into shallow left field. Running up, I believe was Jones making a... I think that's Jones. Yeah, that is Jones. Ran up and made a real nice catch there in left field. And that is an out. So a fly out to left field for Hasso. And now brings up Justice Deason. This young lady creamed the ball a few times. In fact, she hit it into that right center gap off the wall on one of her trips to the plate. I think she had at least 6 RBIs in the last game, maybe 7. Multiple singles, a double off the wall, and she flies that one up over the pitcher, and it's going to fly out on an infield fly. That'll be Rodriguez. Rodriguez in her last game had 2 singles, a ground out. She got hit by a pitch and another ground out. So runners at first and score a couple of runs off that. We'll call it a double, 2 RBI double. And that'll bring up the lefty, Kinsley Inge. I'll look at this lineup here. Yeah, that is Inge. I don't know why, but I for some reason changed it on this one. This is this game for us. All right, I got that one. So thank you. All right, so here comes the next pitch inside for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, or 3 balls, 1 strike. Got 2 outs here. It's a swing and a miss. So got a full count up there with 2 outs. Eunice trails already 2-0 here in this ball game. And there's going to be a walk. That'll bring up number 7, Miranda Gomez. And that ball skips off the turf. The runner at first was thinking about going, and then I think realized, oh, there's somebody on second. I can't go. There's a good play at first by Cece, and that'll end the top half of the first. Eunice trails 2-0. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we move into the bottom of the second, for Eunice, leading off will be Michaela Pierce. We'll have the same pitcher on the in the circle. All right, so just trying to get some last minute little warm-ups in, and we'll get going here. I thought we were about to get going, maybe not. Quick shout out to some sponsors again: Redbird Gas, the City of Eunice, Outlaw Grill, Eunice Public Schools, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, BTH Services and Rental, NMR Pipeline, and Devon Energy. Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Pump and Supply, Parker Energy, and Eunice Wrecker and Rental. Thank you for what you do. So here we go with Michaela Pierce at the plate. She swings and misses at the first one. She's back in there ready to go. 0-1 is the count. And that ball's driven into center field. It's going to be a nice hit there for Pierce. And hustles back over to first. So a single for Pierce. That'll bring Melanie Nieto up to the plate. She caught in the last game. That ball's driven over into, is this a new one? This is so that. Oh, was it? And I probably put the. Anyway, that ball goes all the way over into the right corner. It's going to be a double. Well, now she's headed back over to second. So that was Garcia then, right? Oh, okay. Shoot. I got the wrong lineup. They went ahead and sent Pierce in to score. So we'll give Garcia a double out of that deal. That ball is hit over into right field. Going to score a run. On RBI single for Nieto. Strike on the other corner. One ball, two strikes. Shoot on the board. That ball's driven high over the dugout. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. Missed. For strike number 2. Ball's inside. Not sure what happened there. All right. So here we go. We got 1 ball, 2 strikes. What the board says, that's what I'll say, and that one's going to be high for ball 2. So 2-2 is the count. 1 out here. It's a 2-3 game. Eunice trying to match this one up here in inning number 1. That's a drive. Oh, and a nice catch by the second baseman. This is Andrea Ornelas. So she takes ball 1. Here comes the second pitch. That's inside for ball 2. So 2-0. 2 outs in a 2-3 ball game. Like I said, I'm going to try to. There's a drive over towards second, and second baseman lifts up. It goes right between her legs, and so that'll move the run across home plate. On the error by the second baseman. So that'll bring up Jaylee Parker, I believe is who this is. Right? But that thing's got her listed as number 4, and she's not number 4. She's number 12. So here goes Jaylee. What grade is Jaylee in now? Freshman? Sophomore. Okay. Yeah, it does show she's a sophomore on this other roster. Well, all right, so 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jaylee. There was a time where I spent a lot of time at their roping arena with her daddy. They're part of Redbird Gas, part of that Parker family. So we appreciate their sponsorship. And the runner's able to safely reach second. So now with runners at first and second after the Jaylee Parker single. So now Haley Jones steps up to the plate. Haley is the daughter of Josh. And the other Erica Jones is what I like to call her, because you got my wife, Erica Jones, and then you got Josh's wife, Erica Jones. We're both cousins of Jay Jones. Both of our wives are Erica Jones. Usually my wife's getting a chew-in from me.
Way. Eunice Public Schools provide high-quality educational experiences in a safe environment. The entire Eunice community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities and a fantastic school system.
IPS Incorporated is a proud member of this community. IPS Solutions, comprising of dirt work, electrical, pumping, and automation and control, is all handled with one call. One call for every aspect of your oil and gas project. Google IPS Hobbs. The turnkey one call oil and gas.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our coverage of Eunice Cardinals. So Caitlin steps back in there ready to go. Michaela Pierce in the circle. Fires that one off the turf. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. There's the pitch. That one's fouled out of play. Suford's back in there ready to go. Here comes the pitch. That one she golfed right over toward the dugout of the Lady Cardinals. Foul again. So Suford hanging tough in there. A 1 ball, 2 strike count, which seems like it's been that way for about 3 pitches on 3 straight foul balls. Takes a couple of warm-up swings. Now she steps in there and she's ready to go. Kayla Pierce in the circle. Fires that one high and outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And then she takes that one off the leg. That young lady got hit like 2 or 3 times in the last game. She's got a magnet on one of them shins. So now we're back up to the top of the lineup. Karen Inge. She had a single her last at bat. That ball's hit high and foul. Out of play over toward the batting cages. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here to Inge. Runner at first for Dora. There's a high fly ball over into right field. Right fielder going back. She lost it. It gets over her head all the way to the wall. And they're going to advance the runners over to to second and third. So we'll give her a double out of that deal, which is probably more like an error, but we'll call it a double. So that'll bring up Jenna Ramirez. She grounded out her first at bat here in this game. There's a club ball over toward third. Third baseman scoops it up, fires it to first, gets the out on the ground out. So that'll bring up Faith Hasso, her last at bat. She hit a high fly ball on the fly out. Runner at second. 2 outs here. Here's the pitch. There's a ball that's driven into left center field. On the run, is that Haley Jones? Haley Jones on the sprint scoops it up and gets the out. So what a play by Haley Jones. Probably some of that Jones blood did that. That's what I'm thinking. You know, she's got a little Jones blood in her, so that's going to be my excuse anyway. And so just like that, The score is 3-4, and we will move in to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Eunice Cardinal Sports on the podcast.
In performance with management, and pipeline maintenance and construction with oil and water pipeline. In Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Pipeline to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Eunice Pump and Supply has of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pitch. She swings and drives it right. Nieto back in there, ready to go. 0-1 is the count after the foul ball. Hasso on the hill for Loving, fires that one inside off the catcher's glove and all the way to the fence, and so the runners advance. So now runners at second and third as Nieto steps back in there ready to go. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-4 is the score. Eunice leads by 1. Here's the pitch, and it is inside. It's going to roll all the way back to the back fence, and the runners were not going on that one. So 2 balls, 1 strike. 3-4 is the score, and Nieto steps back in. Here comes the pitch. That one's high for ball 3. So 3-1. We got a wrestling match going on here in the booth or something. And that one's going to be high for ball 4. And the ump never made the call. The Nieto was turning around, putting her hands in the air like, am I walking or not? Next up is Cece Rodriguez. She grounded out her last and bases are juiced here for Cece. She takes that first pitch. And safely sliding in is number 10, Garcia. So she steals home on the pass ball. So runners now at second and third. Eunice leads 6-3. And up to the plate is still Lizzie. There's a drive high into shallow left field. I think it's up and going to be caught by the shortstop. So next up will be Carla Ornales. She had to fly out her last at bat. So runners at second and third. 3-6 is the score. She takes that one inside for strike number 1. So she's now going to step back in there. She's ready. 0-1 is the count. She's ready. Here comes the pitch. That one's golfed foul over toward the dugout. 0-2 now. Once again, our service is not good. Our whole broadcast depends on service. So my apologies to those of you back. Doing a lot of buffering. There's a drive down the third base line, and man, from my viewpoint, that looked pretty dang good. But you have a little bar in front of the window from me, but man, that looked like a good. There's a drive over up above the first baseman, second baseman. They run into each other, and the ball ends up on the ground. And so it's an error, but we'll call it a single just for our notes. So bases are now loaded, 1 out. Andrea Ornales, she had a single her last at bat. Here she goes. That one's dribbling down the third base line, and I think she's going to get there. She does. Everybody's going to get safely to their base. That basically had the same effect as a bunt. But we'll call it a single with an RBI for my notes. So next up will be Jaylee Parker. And I'm not sure what we... No, we've got a change already. So we've got a change. Number 22 comes in. 22 is Emma Garrett. I will tell you that now we're changing again. What are we doing? Changing helmets. Emma batted twice in the last game. She had a double RBI off the freaking wall and a single. No, I'm sorry. She had a single off the wall and then an RBI double that just barely got into the outfield. So anyway, it was kind of backwards, but she takes a big swing at that one. 3-7 is the score here. It's 0-2 to Emma here. Bases are loaded. And if she could get a hold of one like she got a hold of in the first game, it would be pretty. Here's the pitch. She got that one. It's going to be the center field. For sure. So number 3, Mellon loaded. 3-10 is the score. Nieto steps in there ready to go. Here's the pitch. It's driven high toward right field. Morgan coming in, gets to it. It lands in her glove like an ice cream cone. And just like that, we're out of the inning. 3-10.
No testing on Friday. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to No More Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports. We're moving into the bottom of the third here. I want to shout out to some of our sponsors. We appreciate you. Eunice Wrecker and Rental, Parker Energy Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, BTH Services and Rental, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, Eunice Public Schools, Outlaw Grill, the City of Eunice, and Red Bird Gas. We appreciate you. Appreciate all that you do. Once again, a reminder, the track team will be headed for Albuquerque to the state track meet. They leave tomorrow morning. I believe the send-off is at around 8:50 in the morning. I think they're going to do that crazy run thing that they do where they run around the school. Anyway, so they'll do some running before they leave. That way they can get on the bus good and smelly as they drive all the way for 6 hours on a bus. So anyway, 3-10 is your score here in this final softball game, regular softball game of the year. And the Eunice Lady Cardinals trying to at least split this one here today before the selection show, which happens this weekend. So here's the next pitch. Driven over toward the shortstop. Shortstop scoops it up, throws it to first, and they're going to get her. And so they get the batter over at first base. That was decent. So she's on the ground out here. Brianna Rodriguez will be up next for the Dora Lady Cardinals. She had a 2 RBI double her last at bat, and there's a high drive over third base. Third baseman drops back, scoops it up, and a good job there at third by Gaetan. So now we bring up Kinsley Inge. Inge steps up. She walked her last at bat. She's the lefty. 8th grader, got a little speed on her. I've noticed her. She does that little, just kind of slaps at the ball and outruns it down the first baseline. 3-10 is the score. We got a 2-0 count here to Inge, the 8th grader. Pierce in the circle for the Lady Cardinals. Here comes the pitch. It's high for ball 3. So 3-0 to Inge. Comes the next pitch. It's chopped over toward the pitcher. Pitcher scoops it up, underhands it over to first, and that'll be an out. And so just like that, we'll move into the fourth with the Eunice Cardinals leading 3-10. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal sports.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Bart Parker, owner of Redbird LP Gas Company, and his employees are proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Bart, class of 1971, state champions of both basketball and baseball, support the kids with their academics and athletics. They realize that balancing both is challenging and appreciate their determination. Redbird knows the Eunice Cardinals have worked really hard to get where they're at, and they are cheering them on all the way.
She wants some mic time. You can tell us about what you're going to do at state and all that good stuff. I'm trying to get Chloe to get on the radio here. She don't want any radio time. Sam says I'll take some. She wants to talk. Yeah, and then a fly out her last at bat. That ball's inside for ball one. No one in the air time. That ball's inside for ball two. There's a drive high. Jones, when that ball played off the bat, her first step was forward, and then it was a shot, and by the time she could turn and get going backwards, it was over her head. So up to the plate is Faith Hasso. She flew out her last at bat. What'd you think about her fly out her last at bat?
I wasn't thinking.
All right, so Hasso steps in there and takes ball one. She's ready for the next one. Here comes the next pitch. It's high and outside for ball two. 2-0. You got a little pitching experience on you. What happens when the ball does that? Kind of slip out of your hands, or what? How does it end up there about 4 foot above the batter's head and outside? Is that just a
Release point?
Release point. There you go. See, I knew you had some softball action in you. See, there's another one in that same spot. Kind of high and outside.
Well, I don't really throw over there, so
You don't throw it over there, huh? You keep them right down the middle.
No.
No?
That's how you get a new kid off it.
You throw it on the inside then. Huh? There you go. All right, keeping them off the plate. That one's chopped over toward short. Short scoops it up, throws it over to first, and they're going to get the out. And so through the top half of the fourth, Eunice leads 13-5. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal sports.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal sports, here live from Eunice. As your Eunice Lady Cardinals, and I'm going to have a little bit of a score correction here. Now lead at 13-5. The Lady Cards here in the lead. It's an app that keeps up with the score, and sometimes when we get in here and get to chit-chat and doing other things, and I'm always that way on my little app, but anyway, sometimes the score doesn't match up perfect. But anyway, I show 13-5 over here on my app. That doesn't mean it's right for sure. But, 13-5 is the score. 5:13 is what the board shows. I'm going to say that's right. Board says 5:13. I'm going to go with 5:13, and that one's high and outside for ball 4. So Rodriguez with the walk. Who's up next?
Lizzie.
Lizzie, the slugger. Gaetan steps up, ready to go. Runner on first, no outs. She takes that first pitch. Oh, there is one out. I'm sorry. One out. She takes that first pitch inside for ball 1. There's a slapper over toward the pitcher. Pitcher scoops it up. And Gaetan hustling down the first base line, but just not quite fast enough. She's going to ground out enough. So this, our Bella here that's talking with us, she would be the younger sister of former Eunice baseball standout, former Eunice Cardinal quarterback, Conager Pierce. And there's a shot into right field, scooped up over there by the right fielder, and that's going to score a run as Rodriguez comes all the way around and scores. How's old Conager doing? He doing all right?
I guess so. I haven't been hearing from him.
Oh, yeah? He got off to college and forgot about the little people, huh?
I think so.
Is he still catching up there? Is that what he's doing up there?
Yes, right now, but he's not playing this year.
They redshirt him?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah. It happens. They do that a lot, you know, because a lot of times, especially from small towns, you know, these folks come in and they think they understand, and they probably do to some degree, but they come in, and when they get there, it's a whole different environment, and a lot of times these coaches will redshirt kids their first year to get them on the weight program and get them doing some different things and develop them, and then that way by their second year they can throw them out there and get them going. So anyway, when the cell service is not good, the broadcast is not good. The people at home see a lot of the little circle of death going in the middle of the buffering, and I'm sure that's what they're getting a lot of today because the service just has not been good. She fouls that one off for strike 2. So 0-2 is the count. Are you a softballer as well?
To a certain point. Because I'm just...
You're
not my sport.
Not your sport? What do you play? What do you do?
I like playing basketball.
Oh yeah, you know the keys to a guy's heart, because that's I like some hoops. Like me some hoops. Uh-oh. We threw that one out to second base. Yeah, I kind of like me some basketball. You know, it's funny though, because I enjoy broadcasting baseball, football, whatever. I don't enjoy broadcasting basketball. You stick a mic in the throat of a guy who's passionate about what he's watching, and it's usually not a good idea. There's a high fly ball foul. I coached basketball for years. Wide backstop and came right back down into the catcher's glove. She was excited that she caught it. There's that little roller back to the pitcher. Pitcher scoops it up, throws it over to first, and down goes Jones. So Michaela Pierce heads back to the plate. What's your guess? What's she about to do here?
What has she been doing?
She's got a single, a double, a single, and another single with an RBI.
Oh, maybe single.
All right, that'd probably be a pretty good guess. She takes the watch is vibrating, telling me somebody's ringing my doorbell. Not sure who would be ringing my doorbell, but somebody is. And that was high for ball 3, I believe. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 5:14 is the score. There's a drive, and it's going to be a single. He was a pretty good, like a genie or something, making good guesses over there. So that's another single. It's 4 singles for Pierce